Hey guys, Thomas the Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, and welcome to my review on Baby Driver. Now, I meant to do this review on Friday, but Friday got incredibly busy for me, so I figured I'd take some time, watch the movie, write out my review, or take my notes, and actually upload a video on a weekend. So this is a bit new for me, but anyways, getting into this movie, if I were to describe it in one phrase, it'd be like the Fast and the Furious meets a typical heist movie, cliche type movie in an old school setting. So that's essentially what you're getting into when you're watching this movie. We start the movie where we see this young kid literally named Baby, uh, driving about, and we see that he listens to songs while these robbers that are with him are doing crimes. So he's essentially their getaway driver. The police chase them, he avoids them, and he avoids all this other stuff, all these other obstacles, other cars, the police trap where they lay it out across the street, that thing, whatever it's called. I don't remember what it actually is called, but uh, anyways, they escape this helicopter that's watching them by going into this tunnel and then using other cars to like switch out and essentially have someone else get arrested, or whether they set that up for something else, I'm not entirely sure because they don't really show what happens to the other vehicles. So they get away with the crime, and this character, or at least this method of using music, definitely very Star Lord esque. I feel like they were trying to ride off the success of that method of getting to know a character by having him constantly listening to music and singing along and dancing along. Anyways, he works with this guy named Doc, who's played by Kevin Spacey, and he essentially lays out these plans with all these other criminals, and Baby already knows what the plan is by the time he's already listening to his music and not really a part of the group. So we learn more about the character, how his parents were in the car crash, and then we see him eventually meet this waiter girl named Deborah. And along the way, Doc gets this new crew, and we have this one character at the bottom played by Jamie. I believe his nickname was like Bad Something. So we learn even more about the backstory of like through Doc and how there was like some sort of debt between the two of them, and that's how Baby ended up in this situation in the first place. So he talks about, or I wrote on my notes that because they don't really explain it, but I thought that he played the songs at one point to actually pass by time as well, not just for whatever. I forgot what the condition was called, but yeah. Um, anyways, we see that one of the guys in the heist messes up, so he has to start a new song for whatever reason. Um, Again, I thought that's what hinted toward some sort of time limit, but anyway, uh, they end up in this parking garage getting different cars. We see Baby get paid little by little, and we get more backstory about how his mother was a singer, which would further explain why he likes music. We get this. I think this is around the time we see him talking with Deborah some more. They talk to the dry cleaners, the two of them, And there's even more backstory as they're starting to like fall for each other. And after it's supposedly his last job, he gets a normal job as a pizza delivery guy. Uh, and he lives with this, I believe it's a deaf guy, who is trying to get him to get out of that situation. So, anyways, him and Deborah go on a date. And then, of course, Doc brings him back in and then threatens him when Baby wants out of the situation. So, eventually, Deborah and Baby do kiss in the movie. So, anyways, Baby wants, or not, sorry, Doc wants him to scope out the area of this new heist that he has planned. He gets a little help from Doc's nephew, and while that's going on, he gets a call from Deborah, or I think he calls Deborah to want to get out of the area. So, anyways, Jamie's character talks with, I think, with him or one of the other criminals about music and heist and all that, the sort of this background stuff that's going on throughout the movie. And as they're moving their way toward this bigger crime, he commits this like mini crime at this little mini store. So, anyways, they go towards this gun pickup, and then Jamie puts two and two together that this is the cops. So a shootout happens. Anyways, yeah, the dichotomy, I guess I'll say, between the cops or the fake gun sellers and the crew, the newer crew, between Jamie Foxx's character and the two other characters you see, the one on the far right and the bottom. I actually don't remember their names, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, their characters weren't too interesting. I would say they're very Bonnie and Clyde esque. So I'll just refer to them as that if I do mention them again. But, anyways, as they're going, they were, they they do come back, and then Doc reveals that those were his cops, and then Baby wants to leave at this point. So he gets ready to leave, and then Jamie's character and the other, I guess it's Clyde, I guess I'll call him, they stop him in the car. And when Baby says he wants to leave, Jamie punches him, and then Baby and then he wakes up, and then they like do this whole thing where it's like, oh, we don't trust you, and then he has all these mixtapes, and then Baby ends up saying, oh, I'll be your driver anyways. So when they start getting away from their newest heist, Baby ends up killing Jamie's character through driving into, I believe it was like a truck that had a thing coming out of it, like a pole or something like that. So they have to run from the cops on foot. Baby flees from the other two, Bonnie and Clyde there. He gets in his own car, or he gets in one of the cars that are around the area, and the Bonnie gets shot at, and that makes Clyde very angry. So Baby takes the car from this old lady. And then while he's on the road, I believe he tries to call Deborah. And then when he gets there, Clyde is already there waiting for them. So at some point, Baby's able to steal another car, get one of his tapes back. And I think that's after they deal with that sort of situation at the cafe where Deborah works. Anyways, Deborah say so while they're in the cafe, I kind of skipped ahead of this, but one of the cops comes in and he doesn't know the situation going on inside, which is Clyde has a gun and he's threatening the other two in the store, which is Baby and Deborah. So at some point there was like a distraction. I forgot who caused the distraction. I think it might have been the cop when he came back out, or I think he came back out afterwards. Like someone caused the distraction that leads to Baby shooting Clyde. So Deborah and him run out. They steal another car from these two people that don't even believe Baby is capable of being this criminal. So they do that. Then he gets the tape. Doc is shot down by these guys because Doc finally shifted his tone toward Baby when he saw Deborah. He's like, "Oh, love, yeah, I remember that." So he stays behind. He gets rammed. So it's essentially down to Baby and Deborah riding off. And then we see Clyde, even though he was shot, still chasing them. So he eventually Baby gets Clyde in this upper roof area, and then he rams him out of the window, and then he flips over. So but before that happened, Baby was shot in the ears by Clyde. So Deborah grabs, I believe no wait, hold on. I believe it was Clyde's car was thrown out, but he was still he wasn't in the vehicle, so he was still with them. My bad. I thought he was. Yeah. Anyway, so Deborah grabbed him, and then Baby ended up shooting Clyde. So we see them. Deborah drive him out while he's listening to music with his hands now. That being Baby. They share another kiss, and then they end up on this road where Baby sees the cops, and then he takes out the keys to the car. And unlike most heist movies, we actually see Baby just give up and get arrested, which I'm actually glad that they went with this. So he sends a postcard, and then we would learn his real name is Miles, and that is the end of Baby Driver. So pretty impressive movie. It has an old school touch to it. I thought it was pretty good. Solid 7 out of 10. I thought the acting was okay. Like I said, very Fast and the Furious plus heist movie. So if you're into this whole sort of heist theme stuff, you'll probably really enjoy this movie. Like I did. And with that being said, that is my review of this movie, and if you liked it, please feel free to comment, and subscribe. Until next time, everyone, bye!